with some sort of salads, McDonald's will say, well, I will not be like going backwards, I will start selling that. The market mixing, so like as the previous presentation of Starbucks, they said, well, we're going to India, we're going to sell tea. They did exactly the same. They go into Netherlands and they sell the fish burger. They went to Russia and they sell beef burgers. Filling the hole. So if there is a hole in the market, they will try to fill it in order to be the best in it.
Some of the innovations that McDonald's has are like, many people nowadays are like, they focus more on buying and paying for the services in another way. So they start like, McDonald's is developing new concepts, like for example, at the time of paying, you can pay like yourself, like touch screen terminals to pay electronically.
Okay, so the competition.
The strongest competition of McDonald's in the burger area are like Wendy's, Burger King, and Carl Jr.
Okay, so this is the top 3 competition of McDonald's in the burger area. Yet, in an overall perspective, it is Subway, Taco Bell, and Wendy's. And why do you think Taco Bell is underlined? Well, a few years ago, McDonald's was the king of the breakfast in America. Yet, something started that is called the breakfast war, in which Taco Bell changed its menu and created the direct competition to McDonald's. So, in here we have a video of the commercial where they criticize directly McDonald's.
It's not surprising these guys are liking Taco Bell's new waffle taco.
Very good. Eggs, sausage, a little syrup, what else more could you ask for?
You want to connect the audio?
I'm Ronald McDonald Jr., and this is Ronald McDonald III.
I am Ronald McDonald. I'm Ronald McDonald, and I'm from Oak Ridge, North Carolina.
You like the waffle taco?
The bacon is really, really good.
I'm Ronald McDonald.
And I love Taco Bell's new breakfast.
Okay, so that was the commercial of Taco Bell. And well, I think it's funny because they use the name of Ronald McDonald. So this is the way McDonald's answered to the direct commercial. This was the icon of Taco Bell a few years ago that was a Chihuahua. So instead of making a video, McDonald's only delivered that picture, and Taco Bell had to turn down their commercial because a lot of people was in favor of McDonald's.
The global ranking, it's called Macworld or McDonaldization 2. More than 33,000 restaurants around the world in 118 countries. In the United States, there are more than 14,000 restaurants.
Okay. So the first McDonald's was in Bernardino, and the second one, which is the most famous one, is in Illinois. Okay, so in here you can see the ranking of McDonald's. McDonald's is not just the best one in the fast food, yes, yet it is in the top 10 of the world. Right now, today, Apple is in the first place, and later Google, Coca-Cola, and McDonald's is in the 7th place. And the nearest one of fast food near of McDonald's is KFC, that is in the 66th place. But you can see that it's Nissan and Nintendo, so they're like really high, yet McDonald's is in the top 10. So in here you can find all McDonald's. And actually, yesterday I read that one of the goals of McDonald's is to have one McDonald's that, like, the farthest distance between each McDonald's must be 100 miles. and well, their goal is to reach that.
McDonald's presence in society, it's the McDonald's toy is the biggest one distributed in the world, which represents 20% of its income every year. McDonald's hires 1 million Americans per year, and 1 of 8 Americans have worked in McDonald's. So if you go to America and ask like somebody, at least one has worked in McDonald's.
And how I previously said to you, McDonald's is the 68th economy of the world, and it's even powerfuler than Ecuador. That is like a country and not like a franchise. Okay, so this is also something that blew my mind, that Sponsorship Research International is like an association that makes surveys of random stuff. So they did a survey about McDonald's, and they found out that 88% of the people that they showed the logotype of the Golden Arcs, 88% knew it was McDonald's, yet only 54% recognized a Christian cross. So we have a video of the same documentary we talked about. Recognize Mandela, there is the one of Wendy's, Ronald McDonald, George Washington, some people, and they didn't recognize Jesus Christ. So I thought it was like interesting. Okay, so challenges that they're facing. Well, here are some quotes, and this will make you think, what is the great challenge of McDonald's? If you're sitting on the top of the world, remember it turns over every 24 hours. There are quotes from anonymous people, and what we want to say is that McDonald's right now is the #1, so it doesn't have like a lot of challenges than staying #1. So the biggest challenge of McDonald's is staying where it is. Yeah. Okay, so how McDonald's reaches this goal is by beating its competition. So they created the same as Starbucks. They created semi-global segments and local segments. Semi-global is what they are already doing, selling like burgers everywhere. Yet local segment is looking at local preferences and selling them in order to attract the people, and instead of buying from local businesses, buy from the international franchise that is McDonald's. So here are some examples. Like if you go to Australia, you will find these desserts that you will not find here in Mexico in any McDonald's. Or if you go to any of these places, you will find, like this one is one of France. There is like a burger made of crabs. Like you will not, like a crab burger. You will not find this in Mexico, yet in France yes.
McDonald's has a code of ethics. The 3 values more like important is ethical, truthful, and level. Each person that wants to work in McDonald's has to sign before entering. And they also like train the workers before they start working to show these ethics and all that.
Yeah, so in addition to this, they train there is a university, Hamburger University, in which they teach them specific ways to treat the clients as business conduct standards, anti-bribery laws, and other things that they must follow in order to prevent demands or something like that.
McDonald's is recognized to protect and preserve the environmental of future generations. One thing that McDonald's do is they replace the plastic salad container to a paper one. And they have reduced like 69 tons of the amount of plastic that the company produced. In other restaurants, they have low energy lamps, and according to the EPA, 30% of McDonald's energy comes from green power plants.
And like this is really important because there are like thousands of McDonald's and 30% of its energy is like a lot. And Walepa is like America's best like environmental protection. So okay, so being the number one implies like a lot of obstacles. So McDonald's faces a lot of criticism and problems, like exploiting children with their advertisements, like people saying they get low wages, false advertisements, and like risking the health of long-term clients. Yet McDonald's finds ways to deal with these problems, and like I said, your resiliency, try to overcome them by dropping the supersize options. I don't know if you remember, but this was also in Mexico when they offered you like, you can have the bigger one for 5 pesos more, or like 15 pesos more and you get the cone, or I don't know, things like that. They also did a new advertisement that is McDonald's, but not as you know it, which included the salads and the fruit side of the burger. Yes, also the nutritional labeling and exercising that here we also miss American high school basket team, in which Magic Johnson is like a huge part of it.
Some of the future plans of McDonald's are the self-service. These are like machines that are in McDonald's, and you can go to McDonald's and select what you want in a touch screen, and you can pay with credit card. And the service is more like, it's faster than getting a line and order people.
Yeah, so basically what they're trying to do is make clients more easier to buy their food. So like if going for a burger and waiting in line is hard, you can buy it from your cell phone or something like that.
This self-service machine is right now in Europe, but there are like
implementing it in America.
And here in Mexico.
Okay, so here are some random facts about this huge franchise. First of all, there are recent news from Russia in which in Moscow, first of all, they demanded to close the McDonald's because of sanitary problems. Yet they have been arguing or hypothesizing that the main problem is because Russia is a communist country and McDonald's is like the representation of capitalism. So there is more like a cultural difference among it, such as in all the STAN countries where McDonald's are not allowed to enter.
Another one is that one old lady has win a case like 1 week ago because she going at McDonald's and buy a coffee and she like get burned with the coffee and she.
So like for all restaurants, McDonald's, Starbucks, whatever, there is like the highest temperature you can sell a coffee, and they sold it in a higher temperature. She burned, had like 3rd-degree burnt, and she demanded them. She won $2.7 million. Yes, yet there is only 2 days of coffee sales of McDonald's, so they actually didn't lose like anything with that demand. Also, white arches in Paris McDonald's logotype is recognized because of the golden arcs, yet in Champs-Élysées in Paris, they sued McDonald's because all of the decorations along that side are white. And they said, you cannot have your logotype yellow. So they forced them to change it to white in order to look good. And in 2005, McDonald's paid rappers to sing Big Mac in their songs.
To have like more publicity and all that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so.
Being the best at something has its positive and negative side. Like being like a company like McDonald's, like everybody's judging and everybody's like seeing only the negative things of McDonald's. But also being the best, it's like people see you like in a higher position.
Mm-hmm. Well, one random fact we didn't say was that McDonald's was the first one to have drive-through, and that was because during the war, soldiers were not allowed to enter with their uniform to restaurants, so they made a drive-through in order for soldiers to come buy their food, and that was like interesting. Okay, so any questions?
Like you mentioned the Burger University, well, does every employee have to go?
No, the university is only in Illinois. That's why I told you that, although the first one was in where? No, the second one is in Illinois, the first one I forgot. But the second one is in Illinois and is the most important because there is a university. But they only train the ones that will work in there. Yet the Hamburger University has a